Little moth fluttering bright, what luck will you bring tonight? Banalist children's rhyme.
On December 15th, 1967, the Silver Bridge in Point Pleasant, West Virginia collapsed, killing 46 people during heavy rush hour traffic. It was later found the collapse was due to a manufacturing defect in one of the eye bars. The defect would have been virtually unnoticeable during the bridge's inspection, but failure from internal corrosion was almost guaranteed. The collapse shook the town of Point Pleasant, with many looking for warning signs that may have alerted the community of danger. There are some that believe there was a warning, and it may have come from the unlikeliest of places. On November 15th, 1966, Linda and Roger Scarberry went for a joyride with friends Steve and Mary Millette. Their destination? A local hangout spot nicknamed the TNT area because it was an ammunition storage facility during World War II. Pulling into the area, the couple saw two large red eyes reflected in the car's headlights. The lights revealed a man-like figure, about 7 feet tall, with gray skin and large wings folded behind its back. The creature turned and made its way behind a nearby building. The party quickly took off, hoping to put some distance between them and the creature. However, it was spotted again a short distance away at the crest of a hill. At that moment, the creature spread its wings and took off into the air. Terrified, Linda pleaded with Roger to go faster as the creature closed distance with the rear of the car. Soon afterward, the creature shrieked and its wings could be heard hitting the roof. It pursued the party up to the Point Pleasant town limits, veering off into a field as they entered town. Parking at a local diner, the couples decided to report the encounter to the police. Deputy Millard Halstead responded to the case. The deputy was skeptical at first, but decided their fear seemed genuine. Convinced the youths had seen something that warranted a further look, he agreed to accompany them back to the scene of the encounter. At the site, there was no clear sign of the creature itself, but Deputy Halstead did report static disturbances coming from his radio. Strange shadows and dust clouds from a nearby coal yard were also witnessed. An investigation in the daytime revealed odd tracks in the earth. In the following weeks, there were a frenzy of sightings. The story gained national attention. The media, borrowing the name from a Batman comic, dubbed the creature Mothman. Marcella Bennett reported seeing the creature rise from behind a parked car while visiting some friends who lived near the TNT area. The sighting was such a shock that she passed out and dropped her infant daughter, which she was holding at the time. The child was unharmed, but Bennett suffered from feelings of dread and night terrors for weeks. Kenneth Duncan reported seeing the creature when he and some friends were digging a gravesite for his recently deceased brother-in-law. It was gliding through the trees and was in sight for about a minute. He described the creature as being huge and bird-like with large reflective eyes. Neville Partridge reported a disturbance near his home one evening. The incident began when his television malfunctioned, the static sounding like a generator. Around this time, his dog Bandit, quote, started carrying on something terrible. The dog's hair stood on end as Partridge went to the door to investigate. He scanned the surrounding land with a flashlight and caught a glimpse of two red eyes staring back at him from a field. His dog took off after the creature, but never returned. Over 100 eyewitness accounts continued over the next year, and common threads started to emerge. Many of the encounters came from motorists whose vehicles were pursued by a strange creature. The description always the same: a winged humanoid with large red eyes. The mythos surrounding the Mothman was taking form. For Point Pleasant, the last of these sightings occurred on December 15th, 1967, the day of the Silver Bridge collapse. With the amount of eyewitness accounts, there's no doubt that something strange had occurred in Point Pleasant. Some have attributed the encounters to a sandhill crane, while others claim the Mothman is a being from another world. Due to the encounters leading up to and ending with the Silver Bridge collapse, some have questioned whether the creature was in some way linked to the deadly disaster. Are Mothman sightings a warning of impending danger? In 1999, a wave of bombings in Moscow killed 300 people and injured 1,000 others. These bombings partially led to the start of the Second Chechen War. In the days preceding the attacks, citizens in Moscow reported strange sightings in the sky: a winged humanoid with red glowing eyes. On March 8, 2024, WotC released a series of commander decks set in the Fallout universe. The face card for the Mutant Menace deck was the Wise Mothman from Fallout 76. The card art depicts a giant moth-like creature with glowing eyes. According to Fallout lore, the creature resides in Appalachia, the site of the pre-war state of West Virginia. In the year 2077, nuclear war loomed. A cult attempted to summon the creature so it could impart its wisdom upon the group. The creature warned of a flood that would hit the following day. The cult sought safety in the Lucky Hole mine, avoiding the effects of nuclear fallout. Ultimately, the survivors split into two groups, one of which fled the mine to follow and serve the purple-eyed Wise Mothman. The group, which called themselves the Enlightened, makes a pilgrimage to Point Pleasant each year to honor the creature. This is represented in the flavor text of Inspiring Call. Loyal members of the Enlightened return to Point Pleasant during the seasonal equinox to honor the Wise Mothman, despite interference from the blasphemous Dim Ones. Like in Fallout, there are some in the real world that celebrate the cryptid. Point Pleasant holds an annual Mothman festival to honor the town's claim to fame. The festival attracts 10,000 to 12,000 people each year. Despite growing popularity over the years, for some in the Appalachian town, the cryptid is considered a symbol of terror and shared trauma. Trauma that has left some scanning for red glowing eyes in the dead of night. The Miss Unbound podcast was created and written by Ryan and Xana. Intro reading provided by Oz Edgewalker, and music provided by JJ Mickey. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing and leaving a comment. Most of all, thank you for listening.